During these times, many of us have the new earth in our hearts and the means to create it between us. We feel deep, heartfelt visions of bold projects and ideas that we feel called to create. But we are blocked by deep fears and doubt in stepping towards that higher vision where we become the leaders of that new reality. Because typically it involves letting go of something old. What stands in the way is your own body and the conversation happening inside of your head, which has a direct impact on your biochemistry. The energetic conversation happening between the cells of your body, which has a direct impact on how you perceive reality. Most people currently accept what appears before them, the seeming limitations and obstacles, as literal truth, when in fact it is only perception, and perception is flexible. In the realm of transmutation, whatever stands in the way becomes the way. All the limiting, dysfunctional, and even malicious structures in our outer reality are built on the foundation of the delusion of separation, fear, and outside authority, the idea that your power lies outside of you. The truth, in reality, is exactly the opposite. You are an immensely powerful being, but to unlock that power requires a distinct process of alchemy that takes place within your own heart. An alchemical process of being willing to feel fear deeply and welcome all the difficult, convincing, painful, even abominable sensations connected to the thought forms and programs that you use to run your life. As you move towards your greatest expansion, your old limiting programs come up to test you. This is why things can feel so difficult and testing as you move towards your vision. If you buy into these energies moving through you as a reality, it becomes your reality. If instead you lean on the transmutative properties of your heart, you can simply receive them as sensations, not as literal truth. When this alchemical process begins, a wondrous metamorphosis takes place. One begins to see that all the fear, depression, pain, difficulty, even terror is merely the body clearing energies to allow something new to come in. The heart has a key role in this process. The heart isn't just a muscular pump pumping your blood. It is a highly sensitive, intelligent instrument, almost like a second brain, with its own set of neurons surrounding it. It is connected to an inner knowing. There are more connections going from the heart to the brain than there are going from the brain to the heart. The heart is connected to an intelligent field that is outside of the scope of what the mind can comprehend. Where the mind functions predominantly in separation and duality, the heart functions in singularity. The heart often knows things way in advance of the mind. It can interpret data and energies on a subconscious wavelength far beyond what the mind can determine. It communicates its wisdom back through the body as feelings. This inner knowing is often registered as a gut feeling or an intuition. When a person just knows or moves from a place of true faith, this action usually rides the waves of the heart's intelligence. When we receive the heart's messages, it is up to us whether we listen or not. When we speak of heart-brain coherence, we speak about the state one enters when we pay attention to this communication link that occurs between the heart and the mind. When we deepen into this connection, a direct biochemical energetic response is registered in the body. Your breathing slows down. The sympathetic nervous system associated with the fight or flight response deactivates, and the parasympathetic nervous system activates. This produces a cascade of beneficial hormones in the body that allows you to relax, heal, access expansive states, and a greater connection to your inner guidance. Few, however, realize that just like one can receive information from the heart, one can also communicate or talk directly to the heart. The heart is always listening. It has a vast intelligence. It has the ability to transmute energies, where dualistic fear-based limiting programs can be transmuted into spaciousness and peace, where then the truth of your abundant nature can then be more easily actualized. What this looks like in its most basic form is literally putting your hand on your heart, which has been proven to activate the neurons around the heart. And it's actually the reason why we sometimes instinctively put our hands on our heart when speaking during our most vulnerable moments. Then, simply ask the heart for guidance or initiate a prompt to kickstart a transmutative process. This is different than giving commands to a computer, because the heart has its own language which functions outside of duality. It doesn't judge good or bad, it only accepts what is. And to fully experience the heart's intelligence, one must be willing to fully receive. The most basic prompt for transmutation is as follows. Place your hand on your heart, breathe slowly from your belly, and simply ask, "Dear heart, I ask you for assistance to fully receive and transmute what I'm feeling. I'm willing to fully feel this fear, this aloneness, this pain, this shame, whatever it is." And then simply continue breathing, focusing on the heart and welcoming all sensations. As you continue to breathe slowly and continue to ask the heart for assistance, a powerful process begins to take place. You are no longer in resistance to pain. What you resist persists. When you are no longer in resistance to an energy, the energy moves into expansion. On a physiological level, at this point, the heart will literally assist the body by down-regulating stress-related hormones like cortisol and up-regulating beneficial hormones like serotonin. During this process, it's very important to remind your body and your mind that whatever difficulty you're feeling, it is just a feeling. You don't need to identify with it any longer, and it won't kill you. This will eventually feel like lightness, a breath of fresh air, an interconnectedness and deep knowing that one is divinely safe and supported. During this process, deeply crystallized beliefs and emotions begin to dissolve, altering one's perspective of reality. What used to feel like certain truth in time no longer does. There is a spaciousness that arises in one's being, through which new inspired viewpoints and actions begin to arise, and outer reality begins to transform before your eyes. This process is a deep metamorphosis that takes time, but as you open to receiving fully, you enter a whole new harmonic frequency of consciousness. Duality disappears, and the truth is revealed. That what is true can never be threatened, and peace is the true power. From this new harmonic, a new world emerges as you realize that everything you ever thought you needed from the outside is actually within you. Except instead of a mental knowing of this truth, it is now a shining radiance that comes from the inside out, as it's in your cells. Where before you saw two, now there is only one. The outside reality then begins to mirror this internal harmonic. While this is beautiful, it is important to simultaneously realize that this isn't about manifesting or trying to manipulate your reality. While this is a beneficial side effect, what this process is really about is entering full, unbridled receivership. The most brilliant masters who have ever walked this earth all spread this gospel in their own words, that when you fully open and fully receive, everything flows through you, health, love, and wealth. From this place, one can actualize their divine purpose, their mission in a much more fluid way. And perhaps the most important realization one can have on the path of awakening and creating the new earth is that this metamorphosis, this transmutative process is actually the mission. It is imperative that you embrace it fully. Einstein said you cannot solve a problem with the same level of consciousness that created it. The inverse is also true. When the solution appears, the problem must die, or in other words, the old consciousness must shift into something new. We simply cannot create the new world out of the old level of consciousness. The world cannot be reformed. The new is exactly that. It is completely new. This is why, if you're feeling a calling right now to do something, to create something, a mission, a dream, a business, a vision, if it's not working, it's because there's a higher energy trying to come in and do it in an even easier, faster, and more magical way than you can conceive of. You cannot force that energy or make it come. or will it to come. All you can do is become a frequency match for it. Talk to your heart and ask it to help you accept whatever is right now exactly as it is. Put your hand on your heart. Whatever frustration, anger, sadness, pain you feel, ask it to help you receive and embrace it fully. And just breathe while keeping your attention on your heart. Let the breath do the work. There is not much else to do. Over time, you will be amazed of the effects of this very simple practice.